Ah, yeah, I got to work on that. All of a sudden, the abruptness. Hey, everybody, look at that. I'm on with you guys with no hair. I like it. Believe it or not, I do. I lost the relationship with my hair a while back, and I started looking at my pictures from MegaCon. I said, "What the hell am I doing?" So I screw it. I buzzed it. So this is the new, improved, less warmer Caesar. So, all right. Enough about me. We have a full crew tonight, people. That's right. Full crew. What does that mean? It's the return of the devil. That's right. We're going to bring that guy in last. But in the meantime, let's talk to everyone's new favorite guy. Look at that. Look at Dan. Tree City Comics on
What up?
IG. Then we got Mr. Fable. Yeah. From Blame Fables and Amazing Friends on YouTube's.
I stole it, Caesar. I stole it.
I well, listen, it's already bad enough. I thought I was jealous of Dan's hair, but then I looked at yours and said, "What the hell's going on with this guy's mop?" Then we got Ish, the man, the myth, the legend. And look at this, making his 2025 debut back on the saddle again, my partner in crime, Phil. Look
Hey
at that.
everybody. You
Wow,
know,
he's so small.
I know, and it's funny. I forgot to tell you, Caesar. I was so close of going to the old folks' home, about 4 weeks, about a month ago. But
Oh,
due to some unfortunate circumstances, I couldn't because uh, I can't relate over a thing. I don't want to get them in trouble. Thank you.
oh,
And see,
all right.
I bring out my food. Mm.
Oh, all right.
Could you share this to the Comic Sense group?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
got you.
no. Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, Dell will take care of that. He'll start
Share
sharing to
share
all
to
the
the group,
groups.
please.
I
Yeah,
got you. I got you.
Coach
You
C's
know I
got
can
it.
do this. Caesar
All
said.
right. What's up? Look at that, man. Speaking of the what's up, Brett? It's been a while, my man. It's been a while. What's going on? Peter, what's up, man? Steve, how you doing, brother? All right. How you guys ever doing, man? With this, it's what a crazy time to be alive. You know why I say that? Because what we have is some stuff to talk about. Yep, that's right. We got some Daredevil that just dropped today, apparently, from what I understand. I thought it was gonna be Wednesdays, but apparently it's on Tuesdays. We're gonna talk some Daredevil stuff, what we think. Um, we all here have seen it, including you, Dale. Did you watch Daredevil?
Heck no, I haven't. I haven't been like honestly. I've been doing my own thing, focus on everything else. I have not been doing
All
not
right.
much of nothing. But I'm
Well,
fine.
you can.
Honestly, I've been hearing a lot of good things.
Okay, right on.
Can I
What's up
just say
there?
something really quick? I'm
What's up,
sorry.
Moms? Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. First of all, I just want to say really quick, yo, shout out to Abby. Shout out to the entire community watching. Shout out to the Comic Sense community. Shout out to the Comic Menu podcast community. Y'all, Dell is back. Dell, we missed you. You've been dropping some really dope motivational stuff on social media. I appreciate
Mhm.
seeing the things that you drop. Really been feeling that. Really miss you, man. Glad to have you back with us, bro.
Yeah.
This
I
community is not the same without you around contributing the way that you do. We missed you. Really missed you. Felt the loss and really glad to have you back, bro.
no, I appreciate it. I really do. I needed to refocus and reevaluate things, and I'm in a better mindset. And I'm like, I'm good right now, really. Yeah, just dropping some motivational stuff, hanging back on the comics and the drama. I've been seeing a lot of stuff, like Rob and Tom recently. I saw that today. Some president or something stole $10,000. I mean, there's endless amount of stuff that I've seen, but I've just poof kept it to myself. But one of these episodes, we need to bring up a lot of this drama because it's something that needs to be talked about here
Don't
and there.
have me on that one.
Oh yeah, no, 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 no. You know what?
You
And
get
then
mad at me, boy.
we're gonna be picking and choosing because honestly, I do not want to talk about anything about Rob. Rob he's an OG and a legend within what he's done. So respect to him. I've learned not to talk about certain things for no reason. Like his, I'm not gonna comprehend anything like that. But people that steal and stuff like that or manipulate or that's something I still need to recently bring out, and I think maybe next month I need to get my chickens in a row so I can.
Oh, oh, am I out of the loop when you keep saying Rob? What are we talking about here?
Rob
Rob,
Liefeld.
Oh,
yeah,
Rob Fell. Okay, he stole some
um,
stuff. Oh,
no, no,
okay,
no,
well,
no, no, no. What I'm talking about is the other person I sent to you. I sent you the article about the person that stole money.
Oh, okay.
But that was definitely different. Rob was talking about his book coming
Oh,
out, and he's not selling to
yeah.
retailers because, and I'm not even gonna get into it because I seen the backlash if you don't say it correctly. So
I'll say it.
Yeah.
It's rumored that Rob Liefeld said that retailers aren't reliable,
Hmm.
so he's
Yes,
not
yes,
sending his
yes.
book to retailers. He's just going to crowdfund it and do it himself.
yeah,
Hmm.
what's up, everybody? But
Okay.
other than that, I've lost weight. I've been working out a lot more. I'm still sore from my personal trainer. I've been going back to church.
That doesn't sound
Um,
good.
Yeah,
hey,
that's some Diddy. You
That
said it
that,
real
that
Diddy. You
no,
said it
no
real
Diddy on
Diddy.
that one. No Diddy
Real Diddy.
whatsoever on that. I still feel sore for my personal trainer. Hey, oh, that doesn't sound right.
he got me hard. What can I say?
Yeah, that doesn't
But
sound right either.
It's
hey,
amazing how you can create IP that somehow makes it, because it's a lot of it has to do with luck. I mean, you can be good, but a lot of it has to do with luck. And then you get there, and then you start crapping on all the things that got you there. I find that interesting. And meanwhile, somebody
We're gonna
like
do this, not Dan. We're gonna do this. Dan, we gonna do this.
no, I'm just gonna say it. Like, I already don't like that guy. I've been on his whatnot. I feel like he's sort of a very what I mean, just
He's got a
rude.
self-serving way of
Yeah, he's just rude. He's rude and he's obnoxious and he's inappropriate. And now he's coming at the LCSs that are already. It's a hard business to have an LCS. It's very tough now. And now he's coming that way. I don't like that.
I see it as in Rob has done it his way for the longest time. It has not changed. He's not changed at all as a person. I gotta respect that because he's been like that throughout. Everybody says he is, he's been like that throughout. His opinion is his opinion. His facts are his facts, and he'll say it how it is, which is fine. If I've learned not to criticize so much, and then just limit that a little bit because it affects our podcast. Um, I learned okay, saying less is more honestly because
Yeah.
I gotta pick. We pick battles, and we over here start talking about Rob, and this is we're gonna be we're dividing the comic industry right now. It's good to critique and it's good to talk about, but never talk down. And it took me forever to learn because I remember our first year was horrible with us and talking a lot of shit, and we got a lot of trouble. We couldn't get CGC on here because of that. CBCS, they couldn't they were like literally like, unfortunately your podcast isn't good for us to be on it. Like I understand because we had artists complain or we complained. So
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so I just want to say, y'all have 100K followers for a reason, right? And I understand and I get it because in my own dealings with my personal social media page, I used to be very provocative. And obviously, when I started Comic Sense, I certainly changed that because obviously my personal opinions, which don't reflect my company's opinions, doesn't matter to to people's perception as reality. But I have to say, right, when you're in a forum like this, and I agree with you, Del, and maybe it's just me, I'm not gonna kiss your butt. I'm not gonna bash you just to bash you, but I think that positive and negative critique is fair when you're evaluating. And I'll say it, and I won't do anything to jeopardize your show. Rob Liefeld is at once everything that people say he is. So he has reason to talk and he has reason to be critical. He is an OG, right? He created one of the greatest independent companies and one of the greatest moves in our generation in comics. He's responsible for creating some of the most recognizable characters, i.e., Deadpool, Cable, in the modern era of comics. He's also one of the notoriously irresponsible when it comes to meeting deadlines, when it comes to turning in art that is completely his own. I mean, we can say all these things and all these things can still be true, right? And it's not, I'm going to bash Rob Liefeld. Again, I'm not a fan of Rob Liefeld as an artist. I'm a fan of Rob Liefeld as a creator. I think
Yeah.
he's an OG who has earned the right to say things, even the things that we don't like, even the things that we don't necessarily agree with. I mean, he was one of the people that spearheaded leaving Marvel and, you know what I mean, doing the creator own thing and putting creators first. And he absolutely did that. And he certainly needs to be commended and recognized for that. And he earned the right to say some things, even the things we don't like. But when you do say them, you open yourself up for critique, especially when you get on social media and you say it on social media. And that's fair game.
Yep.
If you're just going to do a podcast where we just take, you know, a crap all over Rob Liefeld, I get it. I have no interest in that. I have no interest in being a part of that either. Anyway, I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's people who talk shit because everyone else is talking shit. It becomes that mob mentality that people just join the pitchforks and the torches without themselves having a reason to do that. They're doing it because 20 other people are doing it.
Yeah. And
But
then
they don't know why they're doing it, but they're just doing it. You know what I mean? So it's weird.
the first
We
thing
try not to.
the first thing they always talk about is his chest and the feet issues. The same thing with Frank Miller. Lately, they've been, crapping on Frank Miller and on his stuff.
Well, I mean,
Okay, yeah, and look, and understandable, right? It's understandable.
But
But
Frank Miller does it on purpose, though. He's actually doing the ugly art, as Rob Liefeld calls it. It's a term now, on purpose. You know what I mean? It's not he's Rob Liefeld's feet. And, I mean, but you could say the same about Todd McFarlane, right? Like, he couldn't draw feet. He could not draw feet. He's great, but if you look at Spawn, as soon as he got on Spawn, he took every opportunity. All you saw was Cape. You never saw Spawn's feet. You just saw Cape for like the first.
Cape and face.
Yeah,
Right.
you saw, and he's still one of the greatest artists. But if you look at some of his Spider-Man stuff, you're like, okay, he couldn't.
did y'all see what Dan? I forgot his last name. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Talked about Marvel, about them. Was it Dan? But there was a post earlier about an artist that left Marvel because Marvel wasn't paying them or wasn't, giving them the correct respects or I forget what it was. Damn, I need to find the article. But since y'all are Instagram guys, I thought y'all, because I saw it on Instagram. I was wondering if y'all saw that post earlier about it. It was a barely big name artist that left.
No, well, I'm pretty sure when you find it, look it up. Let us know.
Sure.
I'm
Well,
kinda
go ahead.
curious.
Get back on track.
All right, here we go. Yeah, one of these days we might have Rob on the show, so you never know. You know what I mean? So it's we know people who know him, so I don't know. Maybe one day we'll like to bring him on and say, Rob, here's your chance. What do you think with everything that's been going on? He doesn't give a crap. Anyways, okay. So let's talk about let's start with some Captain America. So I was finally able to see Captain America. I took dragged the wife to go see it. And we talked about it last week with the girls, and I got to tell you guys, I didn't mind it. I actually was entertained. I guess maybe because I went in with no expectations. People kept on telling me it's not that bad. It's better than what people say it is. So I kind of went in thinking maybe it's gonna be better than what people say it is. And you know what? I was all right. I was in agreement with a lot of people. Yes, I kind of wish we would have saw more Red Hulk. I think Red Hulk looked okay. He's Anthony Mackie is it Anthony Mackie? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He holds his own. I mean, he could carry a film. I don't have a problem with that guy. I don't have a problem with the new Falcon. I don't have a problem with a lot of things. Yeah, I do like the fact that I really do like the fact that they brought a lot of the old Hulk, the Edward Norton Hulk, into it. When they even showed a scene of the Brooklyn, or was it Brooklyn or Bronx, when they had to fight in the streets with Abomination. That was kind of cool. I like that they brought up old Betty. That was cool. I liked all that. Even the leader himself, I was pretty cool too. They brought the OG guy. So it was good. It was cool. It was good. I didn't have a problem. So I know that Fable hasn't watched it. Dale says he doesn't give two shits. They're going to wait for it to stream. Let's be honest. I get it. Trust me, I get it. but I did feel a little bit of the FOMO. I had to see for myself.
I agree with you, Peter.
I had to go see it. I had to go see it for myself to see how bad is this movie, and it wasn't that bad. Could it have been worth a Disney Plus? Sure. Okay. But I
It's
being that
interesting with that mentality, and I got to give you props. Most people who go with that motivation find something to complain about, and they end up because it's confirmation bias, right? Like, how bad is it? Let me go see how bad it is, and then you're looking to, okay, well, that was bad, that was bad, that was bad. So for you to come away with the opposite opinion really speaks to how good the movie is, in my opinion.
And if you go into a movie without the notion that you're just like, I'm going to go in to be entertained, then it can also become like a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, how bad is it going to be? Oh, it was bad. And you're sort of like writing that narrative already before you've seen any of it. So
right.
I thought it was a very entertaining movie. And I really didn't have anything bad to say about it. I mean, I enjoyed it the whole way through. I mean, after the fact, anybody could look at something and be like, oh, I would do this or that. But I think overall, it was well done. I enjoyed it.
How did it do in the theaters?
So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Box office.
So for me, I'm sorry, go on.
No. Who's talking? Oh, Dan is.
I was reading Collider and Screen Rant, and it said it had a production budget of 180 million. Okay. But then when you put marketing on that, it's got to earn at least 360 to 460 million to like be profitable. Right. And I think it said in the worldwide total gross was 370 million. So that's not all done yet. There's still more to come, but it's probably going to be a profitable movie for Marvel.
It'll be, because once they hit Disney Plus and the rewatches and all that stuff, and everyone bootlegging it or whatever it is, and then it's going to be fine. It's very rare. I think Ish even talked about this. It's very rare that a Marvel movie loses money. It's a rarity.
Money. That's it.
Only two lost money. Which one was that? Which one were those two?
Captain Marvel, and I can't remember the Marvels.
The Marvels.
And,
The Marvels.
There's another one that lost money.
Yeah, it made only 40-something million on its opening.
The Marvels, really? I like that movie.
I never saw it.
So I want to say, and it's very interesting because I'm going to say the things. Dell isn't going to say the things because he's not going to talk about it at all because he didn't see it. So that leaves me, of the two provocateurs, that leaves me. So I'm going to say the things. So first of all, I'm going to say, echo Peterson. I mean, I thought it was really great. I do put Shang-Chi up there as a really good movie.
I like Shang-Chi.
Infinity War as well.
Love it.
So there's a couple of things I really thought about this. It's been a while. I thought we were going to talk about this. Obviously, it's been out like 3 weeks now. So I thought we were going to talk about it. Obviously, we had to wait for Caesar to, drag his wife. And so now we're talking. So
it's true. It is true. I'm not joking. I hit over the head with a shillelagh and dragged her like a fucking caveman from her hair into the movie studio, into the movie. Yeah, 100%.
And so I thought about it. And as I watched, remember, Caesar, I posted on it and you asked me what I thought. And I said, I thought it was good. I really thought it was good. I thought it was really enjoyed the movie. But I watched. And
Dale, can you go on mute?
Was, wow, this movie, the expectations for this movie to be good by a certain group of people, and then the expectation for this movie to be bad by a certain group of people, it's like a war on social media. And they're tracking things that no Marvel movie, nobody tracked how well it did in the box office in its first week and how much the marketing, like nobody was tracking these for Infinity War and Infinity Game. We got these numbers, but people were actually tracking it. So if someone had the audacity to say this movie was good, someone else would come and say, well, it didn't make this much at this point in time. And then it's like, yo. So then I evaluate the movie for what we got. We got Copperhead. We got Sidewinder. We got a version of Sabra. We got the Leader. We got Falcon. We got Red Hulk. We got, and then I said to myself, what if they took Anthony Mackie out of this role and they put Chris Evans in this role? What would the response be? And the reality is, it's at least as good as the first Avenger, probably better. So if this was the first Captain America movie, we wouldn't be having this conversation. First of all, the movie was really good. It was really serviceable. My only critique of the film, period, was that I thought it was interesting that I'm seeing Red Hulk in the leader in a non-Hulk movie. Right? In a movie that doesn't feature the Hulk. Right? I'm seeing Thunderbolt Ross. I'm seeing the leader. I'm seeing Red Hulk in a movie where the Hulk isn't in it. It's actually a Captain America movie. That was the only thing that kind of threw me off a little bit. I thought it was more of a spiritual successor to the original Hulk than a Captain America sequel. But other than that, I thought Anthony Mackie, the action scenes were great. I thought Anthony Mackie's humor, because he's not the funniest dude on purpose, the way he, we even got Winter Soldier. I just thought the way that they did the humorous scenes were really good. They were seamless. They fit. I thought they could have did a little bit more with the original.
I think it's a little bit of a departure because I feel like people like Chris Evans, not because of Chris Evans, because he had taken the serum and he had these abilities. And it was like he's, in Winter Soldier, he's jumping out of a helicopter with no chute. They're loving that. Mm-hmm. And Anthony Mackie's now Cap, and he doesn't have that. And I think they even joked about it a couple times in movies, like I should have taken a serum, And
right.
And I mean, that's fine. Go that route. But people don't remember that, like, the biggest muscle in Chris Evans' Captain America was his brain. And that's the same thing that Anthony Mackie's doing right now. I mean, like, outthinking his opponents and being slick. And so I don't know that him not being a super soldier is a bad thing. I think it adds a different element to that movie, which makes it somewhat more enjoyable. Like, he's got to really figure it out, which is good. So
what do you guys think of what Palm says that people think it's more of a Hulk movie than a Cap movie?
I think it's a true spiritual successor to the original Hulk and a follow-up to the Falcon and Winter Soldier series more than I see it as a straight Cap movie. But I'm okay with that.
I don't see it as a straight Cap movie, to be honest with you. Yeah.
There's got to be an evolution, right? Into this Captain America role.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's interesting how we see this movie, but let me ask, and I'm going to ask you, Fable, since you haven't seen this, are you going to go out and see? Are you excited to see Thunderbolts?
I mean, I would have liked to see all of these movies. It's just I have two small children that are just.
So it's more difficult for you, right?
Yeah, it's just,
but
just not
out of the two, for you, if you had a choice to go see either one, which would you have based on trailers?
Thunderbolts. Yeah. I want to see the Sentry. I'm a real Mark. I want to see the Sentry. Like, that's Red Hulk doesn't do anything for me, to be honest with you. I wasn't even collecting comics when the Red Hulk was a thing in comics. So I don't have no connection to him. If anything, it's just I do it for Anthony Mackie because I've always liked Anthony Mackie. But exciting out of those two, Thunderbolts, also because Thunderbolts has a great premise in the comics that I would like to see translated. So yeah, definitely Thunderbolts.
Just for a shout out, Dan, next time you do Off the Rack, this guy, bring Fable in.
Oh yeah, Fable's always going live though, man. He's busier than everybody.
Well, that fool's always reading, so I'm just saying he would be perfect for that show. So one of these days I'm gonna go on that show just to fucking sit there and not say a damn word because I don't read shit.
You should go in there and you should totally just act like you are reading and just make up plot lines of things.
Right. Have you guys seen this? There's this new one called Amazing Spider-Man.
Blank cover or two.
There you go. So I gotta tell you now, Dale, you haven't. I know you're kind of out of the loop, but out of those two, are you also more excited for Thunderbolts than you are for Cap?
Honestly, not that I regret not watching. I'm not too like any of the movies this year, other than maybe Superman. I think Jurassic Park comes out this year, the new one. I can't remember.
Jurassic Park.
No, that's next year.
Jurassic Park. I cannot stand.
Are they doing like a reborn or like? Anyways.
Yeah, they're doing a new one.
I think Jurassic Park is gonna make more money than Superman. I'm just putting that out.
I feel you on that. Honestly, because the what's it called? The audience is bigger for Jurassic Park than it is for Superman right now. because they need to go ahead and bring Superman like he used to be. But I am equally wanting to watch. I really want to watch the movie. I really want to watch um, the Captain America movie. Really bad, and I do
Fable.
want to watch Thunderbolts. I want to watch
Fable.
equally.
I just want to say, my daughter doesn't like comic books and wants to see Superman. Says nothing about dinosaurs.
Ooh.
No, for sure. I mean, I understand it, but I'm not a fan of the Jurassic Park movies either. I'm just like ish. It's just history repeats itself. Those movies do extremely well, well. Like
whether you like it or not.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, exactly. And little boys love dinosaurs. They really do. Like,
it's quietly on the low one of the greatest and most profitable movie franchises in the history of film. On the low. You never really think about it until you really think about it, and someone says, "Oh, Jurassic Park is a franchise," and you're like, "Wow, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars generated off of that franchise across 20 plus years."
I tell you what, before we start getting into some Daredevil, Dale brought it up. Actually, you did, Fable. Superman. And I agree with Peter. I think it's going to be one of those movies that's not going to be gray. You're either going to like it or you're not.
Let me ask you a question really quick, because I'm not while you are in that frame of mind. You saw Captain America in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Did that Superman trailer hit different in the theater than it did when you watched it on YouTube?
Oh, that's funny because I didn't see it. They didn't show it.
Right on ish. Right on it.
It's different in the theater, bro.
I bet it is. Listen, let's be honest. Anything of that magnitude is always going to be better in this big ass screen than it is on a little tiny phone or even your TV at home, unless you have yourself a fucking 100-inch, 200, 500-inch TV. I can see it.
You don't expect it when you see the trailer on YouTube first. Like, you already know what the trailer
Yeah.
You go into the theater and it's like, whoa, it's a whole different experience.
It's funny because they showed the trailer for the Thunderbolts, at Captain America trailer. And you know what? I got to tell you guys, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this Superman. I really am very curious. I'm going strictly on curiosity of what's going to happen with Superman, because it's either all of us are either going to come out of the movies going, wow, you know what? That was all right. Or we're going to come out and going, wow, what a piece of shit that was. I don't know if it's going to be like, I don't know, it was all right, I guess. So when people ask you, should I go see it? I don't know. I mean, if you're a Superman fan, it's going to be yes or no. It's going to be a go to the theaters or wait for a stream. That's the kind of movie it's going to be. And I really am hoping, for the sake of the DCU, because I really do love me some DC stuff. I really do hope that it goes one of those, hey, you know what's better than I thought it was going to be? That's what I'm hoping. How was it?
It's one of those, yo, this is great.
Oh, even better. But then again, I liked Man of Steel.
Me too.
And Dorf gives me a shit. Dorf gives me shit on because that's one of the worst movies ever made for Dorf. But I love Man of Steel. Is fantastic. That's a movie I'll watch it over and over again. I don't care. And I just saw a meme. The worst scene in movie superhero history was the scene with Kevin Costner telling him to don't come after me. How is that the worst scene? Oh, because he could have gone in a flash, grabbed him, put him back before people ever realized. Come on. The old dude is in the middle of a fucking tornado, and all of a sudden he's standing right next to you. Come on. Of course someone's going to notice.
In Fat Thor.
Well, Fat Thor was accepted. Isn't that funny? Fat Thor was accepted because he's Fat Thor and he's funny and he's lazy and he's fucking drinking beer. I didn't understand the lore of that. I didn't. I was like, okay, it's Fat Thor. He let himself go because he went through some kind of depression. I don't know. You're right. Fat Thor was accepted. But anyways, I digress. I think Superman's going to be great. Real quick though, I'm kind of curious. Let's go around the horn. with the yay or nay. Dan, do you think Superman's gonna be great?
I think it's gonna be phenomenal. I think it has to be phenomenal. Not only is it going to be phenomenal, it has to be, because James Gunn's banking the entire DCU on it, right? I mean, yeah, they got Green Lantern coming out, and they've got Creature Commandos. He's got a bunch of other, and so far, the things I've seen from Gunn's DCU are amazing, are really good. But I feel like he is going to really, and he's trying to keep it true. Like, he's really trying to keep it true. He's not trying to retell the story. He's bringing you to a world where the superheroes already exist, right? Superman's not the only guy in town. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to play out. And I also am excited to get that cameo of Supergirl. I cannot wait to see this.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame that was even leaked. I wish we would have been so surprised. I wish we would have been surprised when we saw Supergirl for the first time on the big screen. The same way many people got surprised when Wonder Woman showed up in Batman versus Superman, because they just didn't know. But now everyone knows, and now you expect it. So, Fable, what are you thinking? Superman, yes or no?
I'm gonna say yes for the reason Dan said, because everything's on the line. This is their big. They pissed off a lot of people when they cut Snyder out of this, and it had to be for a good reason. They have to make this work. My only concern, my only trepidation is that there's a lot of characters in this movie, and one of the things that I sometimes don't like is when they just, let's put 3 characters, let's put 4, let's put 5. You know what I mean? Where I don't want it to take away from Kal-El, Superman. You know what I mean? In his first movie, first outing, James Gunn, and we got Mr. Terrific. We got, you know what I mean? All these different people. So that worries me. But if anybody knows how to juggle a lot of people, it's James Gunn, right? Because this is what he does. So, like,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yay. Yeah.
Okay. Dale.
So I was with y'all with everything y'all said until y'all brought up Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad. Those are good movies, don't get me wrong.
Nobody brought up Suicide Squad.
No, but
I just want to throw that out there.
All right, you got me there. But if we're gonna talk about Guardians of the Galaxy was not a high profile show, movie or characters, right? They were not high profile. They were the serious tone in those movies were close to none. Superman has more of a serious tone, right? It's not. I mean, not like nothing like Batman. It is kind of like laid back, chill, but not too much in the comedy. It was more like, hey, he's heroic, he's stoic, in that kind of thing. So it's completely different than it is Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think it's a fair comparison. Yes, he can juggle characters, and the characters they did put with Superman, I think are exactly the same thing as Superman. They're not too comedic, right? They're not a comedic thing that they're going to use, because Mr. Terrific, he's very serious. Obviously, if you see the comics, you see the animation, he's a real good character. Hawk Girl as well. Green Lantern, 50-50. But I have faith. I really want to see it. And I think what Fable said, like, maybe they put too many characters in it in the first go around. Maybe they didn't. We'll find out. But I kind of want them to build up each character, because each character themselves has a great backstory. Like, Hawk Girl is freaking badass. Obviously, Green Lantern. If we had waited until that series came out first and then added him on, it would have been better. Mr. Terrific, I like that character too. He was being a real good character. But I am really positive this movie's gonna do real well, and will bring back DC. I am, in my opinion.
All right. What do you say, Ish?
Well, I got a couple of things to say really quick. Fable, I would have put you at the bottom. I didn't disagree with most of what you said, but I did disagree when you said they replaced Scott Snyder and there has to be a good reason. Good reason is his movie sucked. The Scott Snyder DCU
I'm not arguing with people that say it sucked, but I know a lot of people that love Snyderverse. They do. I mean, they campaign for the damn 4-hour version of the Justice League on HBO.
Granted,
it exists.
Granted, but the numbers, right? Like, you can love something and campaign for the numbers for the Snyderverse don't show that the Snyderverse was this great franchise. Now,
it made billions, though. It really did.
I mean, today,
Aquaman made $1 billion. But
it was out of hype, though. It was out of hype.
Wait a minute. Aquaman was good. Wonder Woman 1 was good. Superman was good. BVS, Justice League, the things that the big movies weren't good. But
I'm with you, though. I'm with you. As far as
Superman goes, right? As far as what Dell was saying, as far as Superman goes, and James Gunn. The reason why we compare, right, Guardians of the Galaxy is not necessarily because the type of movie, the comedy, the whole nine, but because he took a bunch of characters that were obscure that nobody cared about, because nobody cared about the Guardians of the Galaxy, and made it into, at the time, one of the most successful Marvel franchises. Like, nobody cared about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Before that movie came out, most people who read comics couldn't tell you who were in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it's just, and then he took Peacemaker,
yeah,
right, and these obscure DC characters, threw them all together in an ensemble cast and made people care about it. Made a really good show.
Ish, hold on, Ish. Can you agree with me that people had no opinion on those characters because they knew nothing about them, right? So their opinion was open about it.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Superman, everybody who knows who he is.
Yeah,
so everybody's going to critique it more.
But here's where I'm going. Nobody cares about Mr. Terrific. Stop it.
It's true.
Nobody cares about Hawkgirl. Like,
no one cares about the Adams
story. No one's gonna go to a movie theater to
like
see Hawkgirl by herself if that's the first movie they drop.
Okay, how about next
hold on. I'm wrong. You will if you write it well. Like, nobody was asking for Iron Man until we got a really great Iron Man movie, right? Like, nobody asked for that. Nobody thought that would ever be Marvel's first movie, because they have too many characters better than Iron Man for Iron Man to be the first movie. They just didn't have a choice. So what I'm saying is if you look at Superman and you say, okay, sometimes when you put together a movie, sometimes the world is better than the sum of its parts, right? Like, the actual world building, right? So if they create and write a world where Hawkgirl already exists and it's written well enough, so I don't got to give you her backstory, where Mr. Terrific, the smartest man in the DC universe, already exists, and this world is built well enough that I don't have to give you a Mr. Terrific backstory, because we don't want that backstory, right? We want, how did Superman get left in this snow? We already know who he is. We know he landed in Kansas. We know who Superman is. Who left him in the snow?
Yeah, who beat his ass so bad that he's bleeding in the snow?
We want the world to be built well enough that we can just suspend disbelief and get lost in this story. And if it's written well enough, well, we can accept a world where Guy Gardner already exists. We can accept a world where Hawkgirl exists, or where. So I think I'm hoping the movie's going to be great. I'm expecting that it will, at the very least, be good, and that's all it needs to be a platform for what he's building. It just needs to be good. Needs to be passably good.
I gotta give a lot of fair warning to anyone who goes to the theaters with their spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You're gonna be a lot of, who's that guy? Why is his face like that? Who's this Hawk person? Wait a minute, who's the guy wearing all black with the? Who is he? What's his powers? I never heard of this guy.
Also, you know what, Caesar? You're also going to see a lot of grown men probably crying. You're going to see a lot of grown men crying in that thing, watching one of their childhood heroes. I mean,
we're going to see characters that have not been revealed yet.
Why not Hawkman? And why has to be Hawkgirl?
Because Hawkman already came out in the other one, and Hawkgirl, I think, in my opinion, Hawkgirl is more important or a better character than Hawkman.
You can't compare what's going on Superman compared to that. And I'm gonna say that Black Adam, whatever the fuck that was, that's up there for a movie for me that I was like, oh, and that Hawkman, and
all of it is very how many people went to see Guardians of the Galaxy and said, "Who's the green girl?"
100%. I get it.
Raccoon?
And he is a genius.
Who's that guy we can't see?
Gunn is he's a genius to bring light to characters that no one gave two shits about. You think I would have a Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel superheroes number 18?
Yes.
No. If it wasn't for that movie, no, of course not.
Do I
have
other stuff? Don't lie.
Do I have Mr. Terrific's first appearance? No, I don't. I don't have Mr. Terrific. So I don't think anyone really has Mr. Terrific's first appearance because no one gives two shits. Let's be honest. That's just the way it is.
If there's any character that people are gonna lose their freaking minds over, it's the damn dog.
Oh my Fable! I was thinking the same damn thing.
Okay, Fable nailed it. Everyone's waiting for Crypto, right? So Crypto's first appearance is going to hit up somewhere around here, right? Everyone's going to be looking for it and all that stuff.
I'm waiting for Kara Zor-El.
I'll tell you what. I put out there. I put on a post when they showed that preview with Crypto. I wrote it right to James Gunn. I said, "Listen, no matter what your plans are for this movie, if you kill that fucking dog, you better reshoot now.
Riots.
You better reshoot now.
Who can?
No one's going to kill.
I don't know. I'm just saying, who can make Superman bleed in the snow? I'm just saying, don't kill that dog. Don't kill the dog.
You know what? If
my girl as Supergirl,
I will say right now, 252 has been on my list, right? The first Supergirl. It's a pricey book. Now it's going to be even more. Now the price is even going to go up even higher. Yeah. Hey. The World of Tomorrow.
That's a fantastic series, man. Yeah, I'm so glad they chose that one.
Absolutely. Caesar, if you're ever going to read a book, that's the one, brother.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll read it.
He's not.
No, I'll read it. I'll read it right now. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Send it to me. Overnight it. I'll read it while I take a shit. Yeah. Send it to me in slab form. I'll read it.
I'll read it as paperback.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that. I'll read it when I'm taking a shit. Listen. So this is the thing. Let's talk about Daredevil. Daredevil. Now, Dale's the only one of this group who hasn't seen it, so he doesn't care. He's like, whatever. He's going to get to it whenever he wants. So as Netflix busted out until today, they busted out episode 1 and 2. Before I saw the show, and people obviously were waiting to that very minute when it popped up so they could watch it, right away, Daredevil. What a shitty show. Daredevil. So slow. Daredevil. I don't like it. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. So once again, here we go. I'm going to watch the show going, all right, what's going on here? First episode, I'm like, this is all right. Then the second episode kicks. I'm like, this is all right. What are you guys watching? You bunch of fucking nerds. What are you guys complaining about? You guys have so much time in your hands to complain about a TV show that we all get to enjoy about a character that we would piss our pants to see when we were 8 years old. And you guys as adults are complaining how it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I don't like it. What? Okay. So let's go around the room first and let me know what you guys think other than Dell. But I liked it so far. So
I'm gonna get off actually because now that I think about it, if I ruin it for myself, I'm gonna ruin it. I want to watch it. I actually do want to watch it because I said, I did see a couple of clips and it makes me want to watch it. I'm hearing some good things, and now that I'm getting back into it, I kind of don't want to ruin it for myself.
Oh, okay. So you want to come back when you're done? When we're done talking? Yeah. Is that what it is? Okay.
So I could probably come back a couple of episodes later because there's only 2 episodes down, right? 2, 3.
No, fool. I'm talking about this episode here on the show. You gotta jump back on.
Oh yeah. No. I'm gonna get it back on. Plus, I was in the middle for an hour, anyways.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Fable, are 2 dropping tonight or 1?
Just 1. I think they do. You're on mute, Cape. Fable, you're on mute.
My bad. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1. I'm gonna say 1. I don't.
Yeah, they don't do 2. Yeah. They don't do that.
All right, Dale. You get 24 episodes. Just first season, 18 or something like that.
I think it was 18.
Oh no, I thought they stopped doing that.
But this season? This season's going to be 9 episodes.
9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. I heard there was going to be there's gonna be like a special episode of Punisher as well. That's
Yeah,
probably
one shot. Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be fucking awesome. See,
Del, are you coming back, Del, tonight or?
no, not tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back starting again next week. It's full time. I'm trying to get back. I just got back from working out and I was barely eating, trying to get everything ready. So I had to go anyways. And I'm gonna leave myself for an hour per episode on podcast because trying to make more family time. So giving y'all every heads up. But I'm glad I was back. Caesar's gonna be the main guy as always. That's why he's getting bald. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Great feedback. Take care, everybody. Make sure Caesar's doing everything correctly, guys, because he's been slacking.
This motherfucker.
Bye, guys.
You son of a bitch.
Did you hear what he thinks about Goonies?
Right.
Oh, he knows.
I know. I fucking know. I'm telling you, this guy sometimes I don't know. But
oh, that's fucking funny. All right, get the hell out of here. Son of a bitch. Okay. Let's go around. So, Dan, what'd you think of Daredevil?
I enjoyed it. I can see what people don't like about it because they want to see Matt Murdock kicking ass 24/7. They want to see Daredevil kicking ass. But here's the thing. Pick up a Daredevil comic book. That's not what happens. That's not what he's doing. He's not fighting the whole time. He's struggling with his faith. He's struggling solving problems. He's dealing with his own problems. You know what I mean? That's exactly what's going on here. And arguably, Matt Murdock is dealing with a biggest problem right out of the gate in the first episode, right? I won't spoil it unless let somebody else do it here if they want to, but that sets the tone for what Matt's dealing with. So now he's struggling with his future, what he wants to do, and he's going to get pulled back in. You're already starting to see the plot thickening here. It's awesome. I think it's great. I mean, again, what do you want? What do people want here? They want this thing to be like The Revenant. It's not. It's Marvel. I mean, it's they're doing well by the character. It's very good. I think my opinion.
All right, Fable.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't really see too much hate for it, to be honest with you. I saw a lot of positivity towards it. Me, like everybody else, was probably a little trepidatious, being that this is the Disney era of the MC. You know what I mean? Of taking this Netflix show, which was very gritty and whatever, and maybe Disneyfying it a little bit. But I thought, especially within the first 10 or 15 minutes of the episode, that they nailed the tone, and they were right back in that world as if they never left. And I was totally convinced by the end that they got it. And major props to the production team for making that happen, despite everything that they went through, because it is not easy to recapture magic like that. It is damn near impossible. And when I saw those first 10 minutes, I was like, they got it. They fucking nailed it. I can't believe it. So, okay. And I understand the slow stuff that people talk about, but I think it's a necessary evil. I think it's something that has to happen in order to get you back into the swing, get you back into who these people are, where they've been, right? Because I don't know how long this takes place after the Netflix show ended. Is it 5 years or 7 years or something like that? So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I also don't see what's so terrible about it, but that's just me.
It's kind of funny. I heard one of the things I did hear about the people didn't like is the way they shot the film. They did it kind of in a one shot, right? In a one camera angle. So the camera follows you and then it picks up on somebody else and then it picks up on another else. A lot of people don't like that style. I don't care. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Ish.
So that style is that homage to the season 1 long shot.
Yeah, exactly. The long shot, the one camera. Yeah.
Where he fights all the way up the stairs, all the way down the hallway, which is really great. So let me say, just Dan said something that was very interesting, right? And this is the reason why, obviously, the first comic book I ever bought was DareDevil 234, Marvel Anniversary 25th cover. Very important book to me, right? Keep it, it's right over here in the stack. I keep it around all the time. So I'm saying this to say that there's a reason why I don't read Daredevil, right? Not everything is for everybody. And I don't read Daredevil for the same reasons that Dan just described. You know, I'm not into the, discover, figure out my faith, for 3 issues. You know what I mean? I'm just not into that. And then not put on a costume and, I might have a fight here and there. I'm not into it. Right. So I enjoyed the Netflix television series show. I enjoyed season 1. I didn't like season 2. I didn't enjoy Matt Murdock for half of a season, right? And just, trying to rediscover if I'm going to be Daredevil, and I just didn't enjoy it. I loved season 1. I really didn't enjoy season 2. Didn't hate it. As a whole, I take it for what it is. You're never going to hear me hate on it. I didn't enjoy going right back to that on Disney. So
Disney, back and forth.
Disney has done 2 things, right, to show that when it comes to our ratings, we're gonna really earn them. In Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader killed a bunch of people. I mean, he killed more people in that episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi than you've ever actually seen killed in any Star Wars. Like, he was just slicing civilians in the city with his lightsaber, just chopping them down. Kids, all of that, right? In the first 10 minutes of Daredevil, you probably have the most violent offering ever in the history of Disney. In just the first 10 minutes of Daredevil, period. I can't really think of anything on Disney Channel that we have seen that has shown more violence. And I'm sorry, we're doing a show on Daredevil. If you haven't seen it, then y'all need to pause. I mean, they shoot old boy in the heart and then pop 2 people's heads like grapefruits. Where you like with a sniper rifle, just immediately boop, boop, like in their heads. It's, come on, you know what I mean? So that first episode, I got to be critical. It was the worst bullseye outfit I've ever seen.
I didn't understand that outfit.
Horrible. It's terrible. Sorry that no one wants to comment on it. I'm going to comment on it. The outfit was terrible. It was really.
I got to be honest. I don't even remember it.
Bullseye, because it was bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, what a badass costume. I barely remember. I don't remember what it was.
It took a while for me to realize that's Bullseye. Until you have the subtitles on and it says Bullseye attacks. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's Bullseye. Like, it just, there's nothing. Even the character who's playing him, I know he escapes. Even the character who's playing him is very lackluster. That having been said, episode 1 was phenomenal.
Okay.
It was really great. Episode 2, not so much for me. And again, I think that there's something can be said about episodes serving story, meaning, it can't just be action packed. You got to do this and talk or what have you, just to progress and flesh out a bigger story. You used to see that in Walking Dead, where you get these really great episodes, and then you get this episode that people would complain about because all they did was talk. But that conversation led to 3 or 4 a really good story arc. You know what I mean? Because they fleshed out and you understood. And so I see that. But I'm also seeing what I saw in season 2 of Daredevil on Netflix.
But you know what, Ish,
and I don't enjoy that.
One of the things that's worth noting about Bullseye, I agree with you. It'd be cool to see the iconic costume, and it brings a connection there. But when I know, what's that?
And we still may see that.
And we may see it, right? But I mean, one of the things I noticed, and I didn't know until I watched the credits, because I always try to see if they show like different characters. Maybe I didn't catch. And one of the consulting producers was Brian Michael Bendis, and in his run of Daredevil, he didn't put Bullseye like that iconic Bullseye look. He stripped him down and made him more more of what you see in this run here. So I don't know if it's a Bendis thing. I don't know, but I know when he did the volume 2 work on Daredevil, he didn't do it a lot with the costume. So and it was and this Bullseye character in his run was just about as brutal. I think in the run it wasn't going after Foggy. I think in Bendis' run he was going after Daredevil's girlfriend or something. I don't remember, but the whole point is it was
Bullseye killed what? 11 people?
Oh yeah, it was
just
mayhem.
Running away from Daredevil. It's just anyone in he just for no reason.
For
no reason whatsoever.
He was flicking those blades left. Yeah. If you just came out the
Daredevil on the roof at the end when he finally tosses him off the roof, like he looks like a porcupine. He's got like daggers all over him.
Dude, he threw a cue ball at a chick's face. It broke her head. Crazy.
And he was just for no reason. He would go out of his way to like up there, just for no reason.
Yeah, you come out taking a piss, zipping up your pants, and get a fucking knife through your heart. You're like, what the hell happened? Yeah. Come to the bar, they said. Let's have a drink tonight, they said. Right.
So I want to be that guy. I'm critical of the show. I'm on board. And when I said I want to be that guy, I said in the Comment Menu podcast a couple of weeks ago on one of their posts that everybody that fandom is filled with Chicken Littles and town criers. And I believe that, right? And that's fandom, any type of fandom. You're always gonna have somebody. I said it on my stream the other day. If you tell someone One Punch Man can beat Goku, somebody's gonna want to beat you up. Someone is gonna, their eyebrows gonna pop up. They're gonna rise up out of their basement and like Altered Beast or something. they're gonna want to beat you up. How dare you say One Punch Man can beat Goku? I'm full of it. So I don't want to be that person. I'm gonna watch it when we get off.
Oh yeah. Well, I think for the most part, we're all probably gonna, except for maybe the East. Well, you guys are all East Coast. So that being said, what are the odds? Because they mentioned, and once again, if you guys haven't seen the show, we're rise from young grain.
Oh, you remember that game?
I just played it the other day. I have it on Genesis, and I just remember that. That's the worst audio. So, anyways, I dig squirrel. This is a thing. How close are we? Because they mentioned Spider-Man. How close are we in Spider-Man and Kingpin finally button hits? Are they just doing that for the fans just to go, oh my gosh, they mentioned Spider-Man on Daredevil? Or can it really be a thing?
I mean, Daredevil did appear in a Spider-Man film.
You're right, he did. That's right. Not as Daredevil, but as Matt Murdock. Regardless, he did show up.
So I'm expecting to see Tom Holland. I'm expecting to see She-Hulk.
Are you really?
I'm expecting to see Echo before all is said and done. Yeah.
You do really? Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would like.
Because Echo. Okay, yeah, I see that. She-Hulk, Daredevil did show up in She-Hulk.
Yeah, I mean Daredevil was her booty call.
But you know what? I don't. That's tough.
Night Nurse. Night Nurse can't be gone from the MCU. There's rumors of Jessica Jones. We know that in the comics, Luke Cage replaces Kingpin as mayor. So all of this, if they don't do any of that, cool. But all of it makes sense. You have the door open to bring in all of these Netflix characters into the Disney MCU.
What are the odds of them doing it just to kind of please the fanboys? You know,
don't do it unless you write it for it.
Don't bring Iron Fist.
Oh my God.
So
don't start
cameoing. Okay. So you brought up something that made me think ish when you said, you know what, I wasn't a big fan of Daredevil 2. Okay, the second season. All right. For the most part, anything Netflix at that time I saw, because I was all for it. I was all for the Luke Cage first season. Loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. Did not see season 2 because people are saying it's no bueno. And I allowed people to dictate so I never saw Luke Cage second season. Iron Fist, the first season. I thought it sucked then. So people said, don't even watch the second one. It was horrendous. So I didn't watch the second one. Right? I didn't watch any of Miss Marvel. I had no urge. I had no urge to see it whatsoever because I felt when I saw the trailer and all that, I'm like, what's this for teens? I'm out. So I didn't watch that. Okay. Now, the Defenders that I did watch. What's the only one part that we didn't like about the Defenders? Can you guys all say?
Yeah, Danny Rand.
All of it.
Danny Rand, for me at least.
Yeah, because of Danny Rand.
Danny Rand fucked it up. He's the weakest.
The best part was when Daredevil whooped his ass.
And he whipped his ass good.
Yeah,
a guy who apparently needs he apparently needed to take the blue pill to get that shit up with this fucking chi, and he wants to do it. It's like boom. It's like, come on, man. Anyways, I hated it. So it's not because, and people think because we're comic book people that we watch everything. Not necessarily. I'm not going to be forced to watch bad shit.
Yeah,
I don't care how bad it is.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've never seen episodes.
Oh, yeah. I got into that, and then it got stupid and, and all that stuff. But anyways, we as geeks do geek out on certain things, but that does not necessarily mean that we geek out on everything.
Yeah, if it comes on the CW, hard pass.
Well,
I get shit for that. I never saw Flash. People loved it. I never saw Green Arrow. People loved it. I never saw what is it, the Edge of Tomorrow, or what's it
I will
called?
I will just throw out that the CW Flash was head and shoulders better than the freaking Ezra.
We're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about that movie.
I know. I don't want to go there, but I'm just saying I am curious about the Daredevil show tonight because I do it with comic books too. Like I'll read a series, I'll give it 3 good issues. Like if it doesn't compel me in 3 issues, I usually will not keep reading it. Like it's got to be like, they say give it 3s, right? So I think tonight, I don't know anything about it, but I think it's going to be a really good episode. It's got to come out hard. So I'm curious now.
I'm on board. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to watch the whole thing. I've watched every Disney. Listen, I watched Miss Marvel happily. I mean, we just got so many good Easter eggs and so many heroes and characters with powers in Miss Marvel that's why I enjoyed it. So I watched Miss Marvel. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. I watched them all. So I'm gonna watch. I watched She-Hulk. I enjoyed it. There hasn't been one that I haven't enjoyed. I didn't enjoy. You guys are gonna hate me. I didn't enjoy Scarlet Witch, when it first came out.
I'm with you on that one.
The series on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
the WandaVision.
Yeah, WandaVision. Shit was a big old therapy session, man. That shit pissed me off.
I did like the end though, when it started.
Oh my gosh, I did.
Started getting scrawls and characters, but when it was just this black and white,
even that scene with Vision when he's fading away at the end, that got me. That was
but I didn't need 7 episodes for that climax. Like that climax was just. We could have did that. We could have got to the point of that.
2-hour television movie.
Yeah, we could have got to the point of that real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me. Isn't it funny how we're talking about as Disney shows, and we've kind of already forgot about the Agatha show. We don't even talk about it anymore. There it is. Peter, you and I were right on the same thing. No one brought up the Agatha show.
It was pretty great.
My favorite thing is Werewolf by Night. I thought Werewolf by Night it crushed almost anything Disney's done up to that point. It was the most
good, but Disney's done some like Hawkeye, Winter. So these were really good.
No, I love
really
Hawkeye.
Good TV shows.
Yeah,
Hawkeye series was good.
Werewolf to me had the most creativity, the most. It had its own identity, where all these other shows try to kind of, I don't know. There was a little CW to a little bit of these shows. You know what I mean? And that's what I liked about Daredevil. There's a lot of artistic, symbolism in this current Daredevil. Like, did you guys notice the part where he listens to Foggy on the phone?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what they did there? Like from a filmmaking standpoint, like, dude, that cost a lot of money to make that scene happen. That was like, the aspect ratio changed on the film. Man, that takes like 3 different cameras to do that. And then you got to splice all of that just so that you can get that sense that he's picking out Foggy out of the crowd. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of love in filmmaking. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm a filmmaking nerd like that, so I pick up on that kind of shit. But when I saw that aspect ratio change, I was like, oh, wow, they're really doing something special here. Or when they're fighting behind the doors and then the whole door falls down on people and stuff. And, you know what I mean? Yeah. These kind of shots, it's very difficult, man.
See, I respect Fable that you pick up on. Like, to me, I love when he snapped that one cop's wrist and the bone popped out, like I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, but you're noticing real technique. That's impressive.
Oh, man.
I
noticed a lot of that stuff.
So speaking of, actually, now that I think about it, we're not even talking about the character that they introduced in the first episode. White Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Right?
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he passed until I saw the show. But the White Tiger. They even showed, apparently he does, and I'm not too much on the lore of the White Tiger, but he gets some of his power from the amulet, or all of his power from the amulet. Right? And they showed that. And when he opens up the box and they show the outfit, and the amulet was sitting there. And they talk about it. I look how they talk about the amulet. And and people are supposed to like understand that it's supernatural or whatever it is, but they're like, yeah, we're supposed to expect some amulet gives them powers. You know, I kind of like that division of the people are still like, this is all bullshit, even though Spider-Man does exist.
Doctor Strange gets his powers
Doctor
from
Strange
the
also.
amulet,
We're not going to talk about how dumb it was that they just went to his house and found his costume under his bed.
Yeah. That part. Now that part. The minute he kicked. Listen, the minute he kicked
go in the room and check on it for you. Okay. Go in my room and look and just wander through my house while I sit here.
Ish. The minute he kicked the box,
Said no Hispanic woman ever.
You got that fucking right. They'll be following their ass to make sure they're going into the bathroom, not going to other rooms snooping around. There'll be a fucking chocolate flying around that corner. I'll tell you that right now, like a homing pigeon. Now, this is the funny thing, and that episode, when he kicked the box, my first instinct was, please don't tell me that's the outfit. Because it's like some fucking people press buttons and like 12 walls open up and their shit's and their shit's hanging there, right? Or a secret compartment. This fool has it like in a fucking locker box underneath, in a wooden box underneath the. I was like, and he opens it up.
Saying, hey, look at me. I'm the
and the amulet's sitting right on, like perfectly right on top of everything else.
White tiger costumes in a box next to his box of porn under the fucking bed. His
wife never noticed it.
No, never know.
It was there.
Come on. So there was a couple of parts I'm like, okay, man. But it is interesting that the white tiger, is that a character that anyone really asked for? Do we need that? Is the white tiger part of the Daredevil lore? Is he introduced in Daredevil? No. Where did he get introduced?
More
do you know? Black Panther. Okay. Why are we bringing the white
wolf? Never mind. I'm sorry.
Either way, why white tiger out of all the characters?
So white tiger's first appearance was in a Spider-Man comic book, so we know the character is from New York.
Yeah,
Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. I want to say.
So you think they had it? Do you think they had to pick a certain character that was from?
Well, there are 3 white tigers. They're all Latin, and the good thing about it is that the main character died, so we can introduce the current white tiger.
That's
it all worked out coincidentally. Like, I think he did it on purpose so that we can get.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get what is it? His daughter or his?
That is not funny.
His niece or something like that.
Well, his daughter and his niece were both.
Yeah. That's what I agree. I think that's the reason why he's involved, is to introduce her.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
And they actually have to recast the character, right?
Yeah. I think I do another season. So who's the big baddie in this one? Muse?
Kingpin. What are we doing?
No, I thought Muse is supposed to show
up. I think Muse is gonna show up big time. Yeah.
Muse is gonna show up, but the big baddie is Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
What are we doing?
I didn't know Vincent D'Onofrio was 65 years old. I mean, good for him, man. I mean, he's still
the major villain of the whole Daredevil series is Kingpin.
Always will be.
Yeah.
As long as Kingpin's on the show, he will be the villain. 100%.
I love the progression that his wife, her character development. I love it. Like she's all in. She's all in, like for real.
Because I took over your business basically while you were gone, And they did introduce, and I do appreciate when shows mix in from other shows, right? To talk about the eye, how's your eye doing and all that stuff. They at least acknowledge that happened. How can you not acknowledge that Echo basically shot his eye out, right? And speaking of Echo, that's another show I enjoyed. Echo very much.
Beat her up too.
Yeah, Daredevil kick her ass. I enjoyed Echo because I enjoy a lot of the Native American stuff, and especially living here in New Mexico, I loved all of it.
A lot of it.
No, but what they did show, like the powers of the ancestors and all that stuff, I was all for it. Right?
I loved it.
Will they do another season of Echo?
Probably not.
It's a shame.
I think Echo is going to have a large role in the Daredevil show.
Yeah, I think they'll bring her in somehow.
Interesting.
Well, Marvel.
Well-
Marvel said they're like VP of all of their, live action animation divisions. Whatever they do introduce, which I don't know what they're working on, but whatever they do introduce, it's for the long haul. They don't plan to do anything that's one season. They want to go multiple seasons. So, we're not going to see that kind of thing anymore, like Echo or Winter Soldier. You know what I mean?
But the thing is with what you say that though, when you say we're not going to see that kind of thing, because you're right about what you're right, and they're already doing it with Echo, right? Like we saw Echo in Hawkeye, we saw Echo in her short season, and we're going to see her in Daredevil. Like,
but we're not going to get another Echo titled show, like,
right? Because we're going to get her. Yeah, we shouldn't though, right? We'll get Echo as a supporting character from the going forward. We actually shouldn't get an Echo, so she shouldn't any more than we should get an Echo comic book, right?
I mean, it's just like the Punisher. They're coming with a one shot for Punisher. He's gonna be in Daredevil, but it's a one shot for him going forward.
Why don't they just do just a Punisher series, straight up?
Probably.
Now,
what I think they should actually do is
part of the cost.
I think they should just do a Marvel Knights series.
Yeah.
For 3-4 seasons. And that way you don't have to. And when I say Marvel Knights, what I mean is every episode doesn't have to be Daredevil. It could be a Punisher arc. You can get an Echo arc. You can get you know what I mean? You can get
an anthology.
Like an anthology.
Exactly.
Marvel Knights. And it just covers Hell's Kitchen / New York City.
Love
where
it.
you can just, you do a couple seasons of that. And you can just get a couple different arcs per season. And you know what I mean? At the end, make it culminate with everyone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe everyone comes together for a purpose, like Gang War, for instance, or, one of those big arcs that happens in Hell's Kitchen.
I had that same thought process, but for the Midnight Suns. Like
same thing.
Yeah, I had wanted like Ghost Rider to jump in at one point. It asked me if they should do a series. I think they should forget this whole Blade movie thing and just go for a series, man.
Just do a Midnight Sun series.
Yeah.
I think
Blade or a couple episodes Ghost Rider, and then they kind of come together, and then they go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they should just do a Blade series. No movie. Use Michelle Ali, whatever, and just do a season 1 of Blade or a one shot. Fuck, give me a one shot. I don't care.
I'm just done with a Blade series. Sticky Fingers did it, and it was okay, and you know what I mean? Like,
that's right. There was a failed Blade. Let me ask you guys, and I haven't seen it yet, but you said something ish to make me think about this. Has anyone seen the new Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon?
No, not yet. I have.
All right. I have no interest. I really don't. I just don't. But give me your guys' fair. You guys both like it?
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay. Does it really make a difference that everything is so changed up? Does it matter? Is there a reason why the purists don't like, or why that show's not doing well? Because from what I understand, it's not doing well.
It's doing well. There is going to be another season. The comic books are selling out. People are going to tell you it's not doing. I don't know why, because they're hating on it, but it's actually doing well. And the reason why it's doing well is because the demographic that's marketed to isn't coming on social media listening to the people who have a problem.
Okay, so that's what it is. That's what it is. So the demographic is shooting for. It's not the old fucking 60-something-year-old man who just that's what.
I mean, the 60-something-year-old man would enjoy it. I mean, if you're a comic book lover, you'll enjoy it. But it's not like Ish said. It's not targeted to that group.
It's not even targeted to a DEI group as they want you to. It's just targeted to new, younger people, younger
demo.
Yeah. So it's what we're getting. Just so you know, we're not getting Marvel Universe 616 Peter Parker. Story's been told 100 times.
Right.
Everybody knows what it is. That's just not what they're giving us. They're giving us a Peter Parker who exists in some Marvel universe, and this is the universe he exists in, and this is what the people in this universe look like, and this is what they do. And we're giving this to kids.
Is it a kid movie? Is it a kid's movie?
It's
show
to young teenager, young adult, everybody. I enjoy it. I think it's really cool.
Okay.
There's some things I don't care for, but oh well. Overall, it doesn't take away from my ability to enjoy it.
You almost feel bad. You feel bad after you watch it because you see the characters that are developing, one of which will end up being a villain. In the modern gang war, he was a villain, but you feel bad for the whole circumstance. You're like, he was going somewhere and he gets ripped out of that situation. Now he's going to go the other way, but it endears you to the characters. And I feel like if that's what they're really going for here, like you're going to have young kids that like Lonnie, you're going to have young kids that like Peter, young kids that like Nico. You know, I mean, they're going to all gravitate towards these different characters, and they do a really good job. And then the end ties right back into the beginning, so it's like a complete circle with the story.
And they
really
gave you NFL Super Pro. There's so many Easter eggs.
And they gave you Super Pro.
His football coach is Super Pro. He's just not Super Pro. It's just his real persona.
So where do we even watch this? Like, is it on Plus?
On Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And the thing about it is the animation is really good. The voice acting is really good. The soundtrack is really good. It's good. It's just good. And and the thing is, you have to suspend your disbelief. You have to sit down and say, okay, I'm not watching Peter Parker from Earth 616 because we all know that story.
Right.
Like we all know that story. If you give that story to the people who complain about it, they're going to complain about that. I'm going to complain about it. I don't want to see Batman's origin again. Right? Like, I don't want to watch that again.
I don't think anybody wants Batman's origin. I don't think we need to see a Superman origin. And I sure the hell don't need to see a Spider-Man origin.
Now, I will just say, because we were talking about Superman earlier, and I had this thought. I agree. I don't want to see an origin story anymore. We're kind of past that point. But in Man of Steel, I did love those scenes where, like, the young Clark was, like, sticking the semi on the telephone poles and pushing the bus out. You know what I mean? Like, I do love that kind of stuff, you know, just to see that. But
I don't mind it in flashbacks. I don't need to see it in real time. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't mind the flashbacks of, like, if all of a sudden
we could do a montage while the credits roll.
Something, or I don't mind Peter Parker getting a flashback of getting bit by the spider, but that's it, right? I don't need to see the whole thing.
Spider-Man Caesar, check it out so you can say you don't like it. Don't let people, because it's even the way that he deals with being Spider-Man is done really cleverly, right?
Believe it or not, like, I even heard people say they don't like the animation. That's how fucking people are. I don't like the animation.
The guy that runs my LCS, lovely guy. I go into his shop. He's got a TV on. He's got pro wrestling on in the background. He never has any of these shows on. And he doesn't watch it because he says he doesn't like the animation. I said, well, why not? He goes, I just don't like it. You know, don't be that. Like, go watch it and then at least say you don't like it. You know,
the TV in my shop always has comic-related stuff on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's what LCS should have. Let's be honest.
Watch what you want to watch. What you're attracted to. And what you really like if you really love the character of Spider-Man, absolutely you should check this out. You know what I mean? But everybody's on blast with the internet. Every opinion is out there that exists, and if you look for it, you will find it to the stuff you love the most. Like, you know, Caesar not liking Goonies. I'm like, I've never heard anybody not like that movie ever.
Fucking Fable.
And all jokes aside about Goonies, I mean, the reality is this, and I'll take the shit for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you're happy and you're satisfied, you're the odd man out today. You've got to be mad at something. You know, you got to be unhappy with something.
You got to be the curmudgeon. You have to be that curmudgeon, especially when you're in your certain age. You kind of have to hate something.
I can't hate watch anything, bro. Like anything that I feel like I'm in the middle of and I'm just like, this is not for me. I don't got enough time. There's not enough time in the day for me to waste my life watching something that is turning me off. Like, I don't get that.
And I agree with it. You'll give it a shot. It doesn't even mean I have to hate it. It's just, I can accept that everything is just not for me. And that's okay. And when we get to a place in comic film and fandom where we can say that's not for me, quiet as kept, that is a good thing. When we have so much available to us that we can pick and choose and say, hey, this isn't for me, that's a good place to be in. It means that we have this variety of things to choose from. We have choices where we grew up, like you said, we were hoping to get a chance to see a Daredevil. Who cared about Daredevil?
Can you imagine a world where a lot of the earlier comic book adaptations, like I'm talking about late 90s, early 2000s, and the internet was around the way it is now for those movies? I wonder if they would go down in history as being the classics.
If that was the
or
case,
being horrible the way that, you know what I mean?
Fable, if the internet was around back in those movies, they probably still wouldn't be making movies today.
Probably,
they would have burned the whole institution down by now.
Yeah.
Listen, I could tell you a time when I was in the Army, stationed in Germany, and they told me that Generation X was getting a television show.
That shit was horrendous.
I was there for it. Horrible or not, I'm an X-Men guy. I'm getting a Generation X television show. I'm gonna watch it, and I did, and I hated it. And
good, thank you. I was getting scared there for a minute.
Fable was at the edge of his seat, going, "Oh my gosh!"
Don't do this to me.
No. I'm not gonna tell you that it was good, but it was good enough. I'll take that over nothing.
No,
over not having anything.
Well, what I'm trying to say is when they announced that show, and let's say the internet was around the way it is now, we might have not even got to the show because they would have ripped it apart from the trailers and you know what I mean? Since the very get-go, like who they cast into it, we would have known who was going to be the lead like a year before.
Things, right? I got in an argument on the Comic Menu podcast with some dude. He was really furious too, because I'll joke with Caesar. And so the Comic Menu person put all these pictures of Harley Quinn, all the different actors that played Harley Quinn. You know that very famous picture where there's a horse that starts off like a really dope photograph of a horse and progresses into like a really bad drawing. Right? And they were comparing all the different Harley Quinns, and they're like the Lady Gaga one was the worst, and then there was I guess the best one was Margot Robbie. And I was joking, right? I'm being sarcastic with, because I know who's posting it, right? And I'm like, yo, stop playing. Like, because they're talking about, how popular the character was. And I'm like, stop playing. First of all, Harley Quinn was not popular. She wasn't. Sorry, people. She was not popular. Let's not pretend that Harley Quinn was the most popular character back in the day. Yo, I pissed somebody off. Like, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm speaking of what you're talking about how half of this stuff would never even make it, right? And people were really mad, and Margot Robbie was my Harley Quinn. And I'm like, no, she wasn't. It's very easy to say this after the fact, but why did all the movies flop with Margot Robbie in them? Like, they all flopped, and Margot Robbie was in them. You know what I mean? And they flopped because, I'm sorry, go on.
That emancipation of Harley Quinn
was horrible.
It was horrendous. I saw that in theater with my daughter, and I was like, "Oh, this is just bad." And there are people who love that movie. That's the whole thing about movies.
Love that movie.
Yes, there are people. No joke, man.
They are lying to you.
I hope so, because it was bad. The worst thing that we're seeing in the movie.
It's a lot of normies. That's a lot of normies that like that kind of. It's character design. It's stuff like that gets people into that. It's like Hello Kitty. You know what I'm saying? Hello Kitty doesn't have any sort of lore, but fucking girls love it. You know what I'm saying? Because they just so adorable.
Hardcore fans are the ones who say, Margot Robbie is my. First of all, I wanted to say the Lady Gaga was for her version of Harley Quinn for that franchise. Absolutely great. She did what she needed to do for that movie that was horrible. She like that was a bad movie, period. But she what she was supposed to be, she was. Margot Robbie, what she was supposed to be, she was. My point was, just to speak to what he was saying, is that y'all are gonna trash because y'all trashed. You trashed. Movies were bad. They were actually bad, but they trashed the Emancipation movie. They trashed the first Suicide Squad movie. They trashed these movies, period. In post, after the fact, then you come back and you say, no, Caesar, it's not true. Emancipation.
It was bad.
What they did to Cassie Kane is a travesty
Oh.
that they can never overcome.
I got to tell you, one of these days we're going to watch and it's going to come out. It's going to come out, the Batgirl movie that they made, that they trashed down the toilet. It's going to come out. It's going to be released.
What Batgirl?
And everyone's going to say, yeah, the
The
Batgirl
bad
movie.
girl with Michael Keaton in it. Yep.
Yeah, with Michael Keaton and the homegirl, the black Batgirl, correct. And the one they spent $90 million on, and they said, and at the time the head of DC was like, nah, yeah, we're not gonna put out this trash, so we're not gonna put it out. It's so bad, we're not gonna put it out. Basically saying we're not gonna give people more reason to talk shit about our DC movies. That movie will be leaked or will be released and streaming on Max or whatever it is, and people are gonna go, why did they cancel this? I don't understand. This movie's not too bad. It's like we always said, very few movies don't make money. I guarantee you, if they came out with the Batgirl, Michael Keaton's already in it. The only reason why people watch Flash was because they knew Michael Keaton was going to reprise his role as Batman.
So you're trying to tell me people had a problem with this film?
We don't know. Apparently, it was so bad that they didn't want to distribute it.
Yeah,
they said
nobody saw it. It's the executive.
No one saw it.
Yeah.
The executive said, "We're not going to put out this trash. It's gone. $90 million. We'll write it off."
Didn't they do that with another movie recently? Too?
Yeah, the Looney Tunes. The Looney Tunes one. They had like a Looney
I'm talking
Tunes
a
movie.
superhero film, right? That just got trashed, completely trashed after almost being done.
I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know which other one.
Oh man, you know what, guys? There's so many things that we're looking forward to, and it's so funny that people have the reason to talk trash. And you think people are going to talk? You know, for a fact, people are going to talk shit about Lobo before it even fucking hits, before the first trailer even comes out.
I don't think it's going to be good. So add me to the list.
Why don't you think it's going to be good? You think it's going to be rushed, and they're just going to make a Lobo?
I'm afraid that it's going to suffer There's a movie formula that we have seen, especially coming out of the 80s into the 90s, where when you cast, it's the perfect casting. And sometimes you become overly reliant on those things and you get lazy writing and lazy one-liner type jokes.
This is a Supergirl movie you're talking about, Ish?
No, this is the Lobo movie.
Lobo.
You know what I mean? And I kind of think Deadpool suffered from that. The difference is that the person involved was very passionate about playing a role. A lot of the things in the Deadpool films are lazy. They're great, but they're lazy. You know, and they work because the person behind it is just really passionate. Really, really passionate about the role and about them being a success. I'm speaking of Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean? Very passionate about promoting it. But there's some lazy tropes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was easy to fall into because you have the perfect casting and the perfect person behind it. And I think I'm afraid for Lobo for that reason, right? I'm just afraid for Lobo. There was a lot of laziness to X-Men, which is why the franchise isn't remembered so fondly, especially with the casting of the person who played Professor X, the original Professor X.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. And then the person who played Wolverine. And so you got a lot of lazy writing, especially early on when it came to those characters, because they relied on the fact that these tropes and these things that come from casting something so well. And I think that comes from, you get that out of the 80s, right? Into the 90s and that era where you could put Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie so you could be lazy because he was going to kind of carry the film, or you could put Sylvester Stallone in a film and you could kind of, maybe your intention wasn't to be lazy, but you were lazy and you cut corners. And so that's my fear with Lobo. I feel like there's a good chance where this movie could just be really tropey and really, really rely on a lot of cliches because it's really good cast very well. And we're talking about Jason Momoa, who I really enjoy, but none of these people are winning Academy Awards for roles as superheroes.
Let me go around. since we're wrapping up with the last 15 minutes, I gave you the keys to the kingdom of either DCU or Marvel, and I said, Fable ish, Dan, you only have one chance to do one movie, any character, no budget. Who do you pick? What character is that one movie, that one character, that one, not even a franchise, just that one movie, that one character? Who
Does it
would you
have to be a
pick?
character? Can you do a team?
Team character. What's the one thing you would see that makes you just not want to get out of your seat because you're popping a tall boy watching the whole fucking film? Yeah, that's it. You're like, this is it. No budget. DC, Marvel, you name it, those two. Keys to the kingdom. Who do you pick?
I mean, me personally, I mean, I enjoyed at least half of the Fox X-Men, but X-Men that's my bread and butter in comics. I love X-Men. It's my second or first love of IPs. So I would like to see a properly done X-Men. Like it said, not cutting any corners, not substituting Shadowcat for Jubilee, like they did a few times. Pure Chris Claremont X-Men, man. I that's just always been my dream. But honestly, I don't know if a movie will ever do X-Men justice. It's just such a big thing that I think a show, a multiple season show would do that property justice. Yeah.
What's the one character that you would, in that film, that you would showcase that you would want to see?
The one character in the X-Men lore?
Yeah. Done right.
I mean, I love Wolverine, but I think we've had a lot of Wolverine, and I think we've had a lot of good Wolverine. So I don't know. I think Cyclops is a little mischaracterized sometimes. I think X-Men '97 brought a little bit of love to him, and showed how he can be heroic. He's flawed, and I think we can have a lot of fun with his flaws.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Dan? Ish? I know Ish has fucking been thinking smoke come out of his ears.
I know we talked about a little bit on this on tonight about having too many people, too many characters in a movie can, too many ingredients in the stew can kind of spoil a little bit. But if you're asking me if I had to make one decision, any no budget, any topic, I would have to go with, I would love to see a Kingdom Come movie. I would love to see a Kingdom Come movie. I really would. I feel like there's a lot of characters in that, and it can go off the rails, but I feel like you can keep it tight. And I love how it starts out amazing. It gets to these super high summits where you're doing all this crazy shit, and then by the end of it, it brings it back to a happy ending again too. Because I feel like sometimes what bothers me about movies is I kind of feel like what Ish was sort of writing about, and maybe I don't mean to misspeak for you, Ish, but when you were talking about Marvel Knights, you're like, you don't have to have everything, like it could be like small story arcs, right? And I think we like that. I think we like to see, we don't want to see somebody for 3 or 4 episodes or one long movie figuring out who they are or getting their ass beat, or we want to see maybe a little bit of that, but we want to see them fight and win, and then then they move on, right? That's kind of what we want to see. We want to see a good ending, and I feel like with Kingdom Come, it does all that. Like there's a lot of battling, there's humble beginning, a lot of battling, and then there's magic in there. There's all kinds of neat stuff, and then it ends with a good note, right? Like, and I think that's kind of the movie that I want to see. I don't want to see cliffhanger movies. I want to see a tight, complete movie. They don't leave the theater going, man, I wish I would have seen more of this or that, or I just want to see it all in maybe one movie. So I think Kingdom Come, I'd like to see it.
Oh, that's a good one. Dan's a good one. Ish, bring it home.
I echo Fable sentiments in that I'm an X-Men guy. I am an X-Men guy, but I just wanted to throw it out there. As a writer, I've often thought, if I could write X-Men characters, who would I write? What would I choose to write? It wouldn't be X-Men proper. It would probably be something like the Morlocks, right? Like an anthology with like mutants. So for me, though, if I had a choice, no budget, I think I narrowed it down to 2 things. if I had no budget and I could just do something, I would do Marvel Comics Presents. And I would just do an anthology of character arcs that I want to have fun with and play around with, tell a good story, and then move on. Right? It would probably be a television series, not a movie. You know what I mean? You know, with a good budget, because I have no budget, so I can kind of play around and, you know what I mean? That's what I just call it, Marvel Comics Presents. And, you know, every week people could tune in and just get really cool stories. Maybe 1 episode or 2 episodes are animated. Maybe 2 episodes are, you know, live action, whatever medium calls for whatever character that I'm using, whatever medium I choose to use, because I have no budget I can use, you know what I mean? And just, you know, tell some really cool stories. But if I was pressed, I would really do a Game of Thrones. I've actually plotted this out for years. I would do a Game of Thrones style HBO Max Masters of the Universe series with a PG-13 or R rating. And I would just tell and it would be a Game of Thrones style, you know
just
what I mean?
Just drama.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
all
in the land of Eternia.
Big villain is Skeletor. But we don't we don't get to that face off for at least the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Because I already got it plotted out where it's broken down, where you have Beastmaster, who's the leader. All these are henchmen of Skeletor. Beastmaster is the leader of his own kingdom, and Merman is the leader of his own kingdom. You know what I mean? And like these are mini bosses.
Is it Beastmaster? Is it Beastman?
Get to Skeletor. You know what I mean? And he's got to build. He-Man's got to build his cadre, and people die along the way, because before I even get to Skeletor, like I got to get past Beastmaster, and they're on a council, and Merman's on a council because he's rules the seas, and you know what I mean?
Dan is losing his mind because you keep saying Beastmaster.
Beastman.
Dad's losing his shit. He's like,
man, you know what I mean? And then Merman, but for me, it's like, okay, I've always like, well, who would his crew be? First of all, who would he start off with? And
Orko. You got to get Orko first.
Orko's there. I like Ram Man there. You know what I mean?
You like Ram Man?
I like Man at Arms on the crew. Obviously, Strider is because there's
Striders.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
Man at Arms. Man at Arms has to be there.
Yeah,
he's second in command.
The leader of his kingdom. Buzzaw's the leader of his kingdom.
Yeah.
Like there's kingdoms. It breaks down because there's kingdoms. And Skeletor is trying to conquer eternity. The entire. I don't want to, but it would definitely have to have an R rating.
Oh yeah.
People would have to die.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
would you do He-Man characters like the old cartoon, or like in the 80s, or would you do He-Man characters like the Revelations that was out here on Netflix?
No, he wants a live action Game of Thrones type.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out like the character style. Would they be?
I want them to be as accurate as the originals.
Yeah.
Like really accurate. But I want He-Man's sword to have.
It's a very great world that you can definitely adapt. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Really amazing
technological. World. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like Conan / future tech. So it's like, it's so cool. Yeah, magic, sorcery, and laser guns. Like,
so, but are they gonna do it but would you do it that no one knows that He-Man is Adam and Adam is He-Man because they look fucking exactly alike, just with a loincloth and
well, they wouldn't look exactly alike.
Okay.
Like Adam wouldn't be buff.
Oh no.
Like Adam wouldn't be this
same face.
Well, right.
But same face.
With glasses. The sword makes him a He-Man. I mean,
the sword would make Adam definitely wouldn't be this buff. You know what I mean? He would be just a regular.
Yeah, it's like Thor.
He'd be a prince.
The original Thor. Yeah.
Right. Obviously, by the power of great, that would turn him into. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, Ish, I'm on board.
I like
only
it.
After I'm on board. I truly am. I'm giving you money now. Only if at the end of each episode, He-Man comes out and says, "Today's episode."
And that's one to grow on.
And you know,
Ram
Man felt.
I could do the same thing. I've always considered the same thing also with G.I. Joe. For me, my mind thinks that way. Like I want it to be very adult. Like Cobra is a terrorist organization, so I want them to be a terrorist organization. I want G.I. Joe to shoot people. I want, these covert operatives to be covert operatives. You know what I mean? Like to actually be.
I don't think G.I. Joe would fly
forces.
nowadays.
Say again?
I don't think G.I. Joe would fly nowadays.
It's tough. It's tough.
I think it'd be tough. I think it would be just with the climate of a certain situation and stuff happening.
An arms dealer, and
I feel like He-Man would be popular. I think people want to go to Fantasyland right now.
They want to escape. They don't want to see Destro selling Zelensky and Putin weapons. Weapons to both sides of the war.
You're like, is that Musk? Did Musk just cameo in this movie?
The only thing about He-Man, it would be extremely expensive. So you would have to do. I mean, you said no budget, so of course it doesn't matter.
But if it was to become a reality, it would be pretty
extreme.
Because
it would be Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime expensive.
I'm getting very nervous the more I see things being leaked with this new He-Man movie. I'm getting a little nervous. Why do they have to bring He-Man into our world? Why? They tried it back in the early 80s with the He-Man, and it was horrible when they brought him into this world, whatever. And then you're seeing He-Man in a pink shirt being arrested by cops, and I'm going, this is I don't like where this is going, man.
I didn't even want to know that happened.
That I don't. They're in our world. They're in our world again, and I'm going, God, Ish. Honestly, why can't they just do a He-Man movie in Eternia, not space, nowhere else? I don't know. This whole place called Eternia, where everything is actually stationed
world that
in
is already
Eternia.
built. Like this amazing world that's already built.
It drives me
crazy.
A
character that you could make the modern era Darth Vader. You could really put Skeletor into the hearts and minds of people on that level. If you you really could. You could really make Skeletor this iconic. He already is iconic, but you could next level him. Like the visage, the skull. I can see the t-shirts now, which is the, you know what I mean? Like the silhouette. You know what I mean? I can see it now.
But let me ask you a question, Ish. Did you like the Dolph Lundgren? No. Not the movie. Whatever about the movie, but did you like their version of Eternia while they were in Eternia? Like that Skeletor, that Evelyn, that Man at Arms. Did you enjoy that?
I don't remember it because it was so bad, but I don't think that Skeletor was the worst at all.
I love that version of Skeletor.
Yeah, I don't
Dolph
think that's
Lundgren, Masters of the Universe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have nothing else to compare it to.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good.
Frank Langella, he played a very
Frank Langella, Langella. See, you know what I do appreciate, and you mentioned earlier, Dan, with Fable, how he appreciates the cinematography and a lot of the camera work with these movies. I'm that way with movie scores. When I watch a TV show, when I watch Daredevil, when I watch the movies, I'm listening and I go, I'll be driving home. My wife's like, oh, I'm like, oh man, that song they played when they were doing this and that.
Oh yeah.
I listen to the movie scores. I'm a movie score fool, right? So I pick up on stuff. I watch TV and someone's playing some music in the background. I'm like, oh hey, that's a Hans Zimmer. That's actually from Interstellar. So it's kind of interesting that they're using that. I pick up on that shit. So it's very nice how each person watches a movie or a show differently and picks up on certain things. Some people might like certain writing.
You know what's interesting though? I mean, like without scores and music, movies wouldn't be an eighth of what they are. I mean, like
it's horrible.
Yeah,
they're bad.
It's amazing what music can do to it. And I'll tell you, if you're ever having a bad day, turn on movie scores and just let them play. It'll change you.
If anyone wants my playlist, I have 300 and something songs from stuff like that, and it's mainly melodic. Stick your head in an oven, far deep, like just depressing. That's me. That's all I have. I don't have Indiana Jones. It's too exciting. It's too upbeat.
I love all that stuff.
It's too much. Even I hate to say it, but even the Star Wars stuff, the Williams, it's a little too triumphant. I want give me the dual fates.
You want
That's John Williams though.
Movie scores and Thomas.
No. I don't have a problem with John Williams, but that type. No, trust me, John Williams is good with some certain stuff, but his upbeat stuff, I'm out. I'll take the dual fates.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll be
I don't want Shades of Fire, you son of a bitch.
And like I'll be listening to movie scores, like maybe Interstellar will come on, and then Thomas Newman and Meet Joe Black or something will come on, and then all of a sudden the Avengers song will come on, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that dun-dun-dun, 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 and you're like, oh my gosh, like you just start speeding and you're in your car, I don't know.
Well, it's funny. I'd rather have other songs that from Thanos when he's. Anyways, we can go on forever. I mean,
Chariots of Fire.
How do not like? Yeah. Sorry, pal.
Another good one.
Chariots of Fire, right?
Yeah, and the Vangelis. No, it's all right, man.
You even know the composer.
Yeah, maybe because I heard it too many times in the '80s. Maybe that's what it is.
So you don't like it? You're saying it's not good?
It's outplayed. I heard it too many times. Believe it or not, like the Avengers. I heard it too many times.
I can't hear it enough. I'm gonna turn it on after the show.
That's fun. All right, guys.
The score from I don't know it.
There's some good stuff out there. I mean, if you ever Interstellar to me is still one of the best movie scores out there. Come on, Zimmer. Interstellar will put you in a different place, man. It's one of those. It's one of those.
What's the movie about?
Interstellar?
Yeah.
Are you quizzing me because you've never seen it, or you actually want to know about?
Seen Interstellar.
You should go see.
Oh, go check it out, man. Yeah,
maybe
can't beat the still.
Like, what's it about? Who's in it?
I can't. Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. It's worth. Do you like that director,
Sci-fi?
Christopher Nolan?
Didn't he do Batman?
He did the modern. Yeah, not the Batman with this kid from.
Yeah,
Twilight.
he did the Dark Knight series.
The Christian Bale ones.
It's all right. It's not bad. It's not horrible.
You like Prestige? You ever seen the Prestige?
Of course, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
he did that one.
He did that movie where with
Inception.
I thought Inception was clever. I thought it was really.
That's the kind of movie that clever. It is. It's trying to make you think, kind of thing. Yeah. It's cerebral. So
is Matt Damon in Interstellar?
Yeah.
Matt Damon's in it.
Is he?
No. Matthew McConaughey's in Interstellar.
Just
the whole premise of Interstellar is like Earth is dying and they're trying to find a habitable planet, and so they.
You know what? Matt Damon is in Interstellar.
Yeah, I thought it was. It came out. He did 2 space movies that came out the same year, right?
No,
like
Matt Damon was in Interstellar.
He did Mars.
Yeah, in Interstellar.
No, he wasn't. Was Matt Damon in Interstellar? I don't think so.
He did 2 space movies that came out that year.
He did something where he was on Mars or something, trapped on Mars or something.
He was trapped on Mars, and then he did another one. Mm-hmm. He did two.
You have a computer in front of you, Dan. Look it up real quick before we get off. Yeah, he did Memento. Memento is fucking pretty. That's pretty good. Memento is cerebral as shit. Yeah, go check it out. Interstellar is one of those.
It's dealing with quantum space mechanics.
Oh my gosh, you're right. He was in Interstellar.
I remember it now. He was in Interstellar. He was in
Elysium, by the way, which was of all those 3, Elysium was the best of them.
Elysium was great.
Elysium as well. Yeah.
But I loved Jodie Foster in that movie too, though.
Yeah, it's like Fable said. It's quantum physics. It's crazy. It blows you away.
I remember it now because I've seen it. I remember when you said Matthew McConaughey. I'm like, wait a minute, the one with Matt Damon, because he did 2 space movies that same year. The one where he's stranded on Mars and Interstellar.
And I like that Mars movie. That was actually pretty good. I enjoyed that. All right. Well, that's it. We come to the it's about that time, and like I said, we also have to cut it short, or we'll be out here for 17 hours. It's very easy because you start going on tangents. Next thing you know, we're talking about movies, right? Next thing we're talking about what other movies that Matt Damon made that I like, so it's all that stuff. So let's start off with let's start off with Dan. Let's go with you, Dan. Where can we find Dan, Mr. Tree City?
Hey, so first, guys, thanks for having me again. I love chatting with you guys. It's just always a good time. Folks, follow me on Instagram at Tree City Comics. I'm posting there regularly. Every Wednesday, I post the book about the new comic books I'm reading. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, I warn you. But if you don't mind a quick summary of what's going on in the current issues, please join me and you can read them on Wednesdays. And then every Thursday on the Comic Underground on Instagram, we host an Off the Rack segment where we join Ish has been on before, and we talk about books we're reading, current books, and we have just discussions similar to this. A lot of humor, a lot of laughs, but yeah, just follow me on Instagram. Look forward to chatting with you there.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again, Dan. You got to get this guy over here to jump on
Definitely.
one of those episodes.
Definitely will. 100%.
Yeah, hit him up. All right, Fable, what's up? What's going on? Where can we find you?
Follow me at One Collection Down on Instagram and YouTube. I do a little show on YouTube called the All New, All Different Blame Fable Show, Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we just talk about the latest in pop culture news and topics and stuff like that. It's kind of what we did tonight. But just reading off actual headlines and stuff. I think this Friday, Caesar, you're supposed to come by, right?
I am. I'm going to be there.
So Caesar, all the Caesar fans come hang out with us. He's going to be hanging
Caesar
out with
fans. That's so funny. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Prairie Meadows Friday night at 9:15 on YouTube. I'll be on with this nut for all my fans. That's good stuff.
And I also would like to direct people to we're doing a movie festival, movie reviews called March Madness, where we're just reviewing movies about people that go insane. And I'm hosting one on my channel on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, next Tuesday. And it's going to be Fight Club. So it's going to be a real fun movie to revisit and analyze again. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember loving that movie. So if you're into that kind of thing, come check us out.
Go. Thanks, Bill. All right. Ish.
Yo. So I'm Issue X, as y'all see. You can find me at ishue.x on Instagram, and Comic Sense, COMIXSENSE on Instagram and on Facebook. We have a page, we have a group. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to all of the people that watch with Abby. I want to shout out J Rob, shout out Peter, shout out everyone that's in this stream. I need everybody, and I just told you what first of all, again, Issue X, Robin Hood of the Unfair Market. I do have a couple live things that I do, but I don't want to talk about that. What I want you to do is I want you to go and I want you to follow Dan at Tree City Comics on Instagram if you haven't been. I want you to go follow One Collection Down on Instagram if you haven't been. I want you to go to the YouTube channel right now. Go over to the YouTube channel, this Comic Menu Podcast. Click thumbs up, click thumbs down, press play. I don't really want you to click thumbs down, but I don't want you to not do anything, right? Do something. Interact with this page. This is some fire content that they're bringing you every Tuesday. The least you could do is take a couple seconds, go over to the YouTube page, just click play for like 3 seconds. Click a thumbs up, click a thumbs down. Don't do nothing. Do something. Do something. Follow Dan at Tree City Comics. Follow Fable, One Collection Down. Follow Issue X at Comic Sense and at Issue X on Instagram. Appreciate y'all all, by the way. Y'all are dope.
Yeah.
Jason's funny. He said right now.
Well, I got to tell you guys, yes, as you guys heard, we're at 91,000 followers on the Facebook page. And that's something that just started over a year ago. Dell, quote, all props to that guy because he likes to gaslight like a mofo.
He be gaslight.
He gaslights on that Facebook page, and he's like Indiana Jones sucks balls. There you go. And everyone's like,
he just falls back as if he didn't do that. Like,
he drops back. He's like, wasn't me. It's the other employees of the show that's doing it, right? Once again, you could also find me on the Instagrams. Not on there as much now that I'm working, but I'm still doing voiceovers and promos and all that stuff. I'm still paying off a Grail. I'm still buying books. It's just taking a step back. But boy, I gotta tell you, I'm having one hell of a good time making these reels with these figures and these books. I'm every single time I do it, I get more and more creative. I'm like, now I'm thinking about the people. Like, what do they like? What do they like to see and stuff like that? Fable does this Figgy Friday thing, and he likes the whole. And he kind of inspired me to like, I'm gonna do this shit, and it's fun. It's great, and people are sending me stuff. Believe it or not, just because they know I have a list, And they're like, I might have that, so I can hook you up. Love it. And I'm getting some really cool stuff, and I can't
awesome.
wait. I can't wait till you guys see the next one. Because I don't know if you know, you guys only see what I've already showed, but up here there's so much stuff that I've taken pictures of that I haven't made a reel yet. So I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Right. So like that Hellboy is heavy as shit. If you ever saw that Hellboy figure, it's beefy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, Caesar Dracula's Wolf, the real Dracula's Wolf. You can catch me there. Watch the show every Tuesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, Facebook, and the YouTubes. You guys are awesome. Dell popped on. He wants to limit himself to an hour, ease his way back in. First time on the show in this year, and we missed that guy. He's back in it. He says, I'm down like a clown. And he's going to be seeing him next week. Next week, I do not know what's going on. It'll be something good. Thinking about bringing some more artists on. Shoot the shit. A couple of people I reached out to. Stay tuned. We're going to get some good stuff. But gentlemen, you guys are the shit, man. I like you guys. You guys are my brothers from all different races and colors. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys.